And then I started to do my own research because I wanted to know what is the purpose of these numbers? Why are they showing them to me? And what do the concentrations mean? You know, like what does it say about the effects? So yeah, I started to do a lot of research and even more research when I became employed at Mary & Main, because we have to be able to pretty much kind of give a deeper interpretation into what the plant, the effects of the plant, meaning like, will it be a sativa or an indica? And a lot of times, like we all know, as being a bud tender, you can't just classify a plant based on indica or sativa. You have to look deeper into the numbers to know exactly what's going to happen. So
I totally agree with you. Honestly, like before Mary & Main, one of my friends was like, oh, learn about the entourage effect. And I was like, entourage effect, what's that? And that's really how I was introduced to terpenes. Before that, I really had no idea what a terpene was. Like, what's that? You know, and then he was basically like, okay, that smell and that taste, you know, every flower is unique. Those are the terpenes. And then once I really started digging deep into it, I was like, wow, these are actually really, really amazing. So what would you consider to be maybe like one of your favorite terpenes?
I have to say that my favorite terpene is linalool. And yes, linalool is my favorite terpene. It's actually one of the terpenes that I have found, like, it's just in isolation. It works really well with other terpenes. The flavor of it is also really pleasant to me. A lot of other terpenes, they do have a kind of more of a spicy or peppery type of aroma. So I really like the flavor. I think it's really smooth. And I like the effects. I like how linalool, it can show itself in sativas and indicas, but it still has this kind of calming effect, anti-anxiety effect I really love from that. So that's my favorite.
Linalool, it's really like hard to find Linalool, I think, in a lot of the strains that we see. So when I do see it in a high abundance, it's usually like, ooh, let me try that. I know some of like the concentrates that we have at Mary & Main, like the Evermore concentrates, I have seen some Linalool in like high dose, not dosage, percentages. And it's really amazing to see that. I always try to remember it like it's found in lavender, correct? So I always link it to that. So you know, when we smell lavender, it's always like calming and relaxing, and you know, it's supposed to put you to sleep. So I always tell my patients, like, if you see that terpene, you know, it might have that effect on you. It may not, you know, but that's usually what happens in my
Absolutely.
experience.
Yeah, I mean, uh, linalool is definitely, it's one of those terpenes that's been studied extensively a lot. And actually, the antidepressant factor of it has been shown. They've studied it in mice, and we will link a study for you guys for sure. But they've shown that when mice were in threatening conditions and they presented them with the terpene linalool, it actually um, it made them keep fighting. Like they were in a stressful situation where they were trying to get out, and the mice became depressed. The ones that had the linalool, they actually kept their fighting spirit, and the mice that didn't, they just gave up. So that antidepressant brain activity that linalool is expressing is like it's actually there, and it's been studied. It's crazy.